Well, that's a week gone already. I can't believe it. Yeah, my last week's blog was received really well, so I would just like to thank you all for that. Bit of a tricky one, really. You don't know how things are going to be received, to be honest. I'm just one man with my inane ramblings. But yeah, this week I'm going to keep it pretty much the same as last week, answering questions in the same format. I've been asked 2 questions about my blog. Some people have been saying it's like a stroke rant, but no, it's not a rant. It's like, you know, we're talking about things that are important to us. I'd like to sort of kind of implore more people as well to put blogs up. I love reading them. I love kind of listening to what people have to say. You know, there's all this superstar talk, all that shit in this game, do you know what I mean? Where you listen to all this rubbish about, you know, the so-called top anglers, do you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong, some great anglers at the top, absolutely fantastic, really, really good guys, you know, good advice, you know, and they really care about the, you know, the welfare of the sport and the anglers that are in it. But, you know, I mean, of course, it's turned into a rant already, isn't it, really? But, you know, there's anglers out there that they just don't care, they don't give a shit, and that's the truth. And, you know, and my first question today, which is my fishing question, really tricky water. Do you know something? I thought to myself, yeah, the first one's gone really well, I've had loads of hits, it's really popular, everybody's talking about it, well, you know, everybody in my little kind of small world, do you know what I mean? And the reality is, I thought, you know, I could really take it down a safe kind of path, do you know what I mean, today, and, you know, not make things too controversial and, you know, talk about things that are kind of, you know, well, clearly less controversial. The thing is, we was talking about it the other day, and it's one of my questions, and I thought, no, don't answer it. But I have these opinions, and at the end of the day, I think you have to be true to yourself. I said it in the first blog. It's how I feel, and I'm going to kind of knit this superstar thing into it all and everybody else. But we were talking the other day on the lake, and somebody's asked me the question on my Facebook angler page about lead ejection and dumping your leads on the lake bed. And I've got to say, unless I was fishing a weedy water, or it kind of dictated to me that I needed to lose my lead, you know, for my fishing, I would never, ever, ever lose a lead. I don't understand it. All these people, you've got all these young boys fishing everywhere now, you know what I mean? With their 5-ounce leads on brazen nose, and every time they hook something, or, you know what I mean, or they cast, you know, a little bit wayward, you know what I mean, and it goes with a big splash in a bag, and it's bang, the lead's gone, you know, strike, nothing there, the lead's gone, liner, strike, lead's gone. I don't understand it. What you're thinking, everybody. I mean, you know, you must remember, again, I am your friend. All of you people. I love you to bits. Went to the Coventry show this weekend. Loved it. Met all these beautiful people again. Lovely, lovely people. Had a whale of a time. But I don't understand it. I mean, the lead thing, yeah? Right, let's get one thing straight, yeah? I work as a consultant for PB Products in the UK. Now, I don't pay for my leads, right? I can actually stand in my bedroom and throw them out the window. You know what I mean? Don't make no difference to me. I don't pay for them. But I cannot, yeah? I can't do it like to my fellow angler. For people paying for leads, like young lads, people with families, going to work, 4 kids, 7 days a week. And you read this shit in the magazines where they're saying, yeah, you've got to dump the lead. You know what I mean? Every time. I mean, let's be fair about things. Dumping the lead every single time. It's madness, right? Think of how much that costs. It's absolutely criminal. You know what I mean? You got all these top anglers, well, not all of them, but like I said, there's some really good guys. But you got them talking all this shit about dump this, dump that, get rid of the lead this, the lead that. Well, let's talk about fish welfare for a minute as well. If you worked out every day ticket water, not so much as syndicate boys, because they, you know, they cast out, don't they, for 3 months, do you know what I mean? Don't reel in again by the time they've come round off the wacky backy, you know what I mean? Some of the boys, you know what they're like, God bless them. But you know what I mean, day ticket waters, there's people losing, I don't know, like you got an angler, he might be fishing there all day, say again, I mean, not digging brazen nose out, let's pick somewhere else, you know what I mean? You might lose 10 leads in a day, yeah? There might be flipping 50 to 100 anglers on that lake losing 10 leads a time that's open 7 days a week that can fish pretty much sort of 10, 11 months of the year. Do the maths, you know what I mean? I mean, what are we doing to the lake bed? It's all very well, yeah, right, and this isn't a personal stab, right, but it's all very well, the people writing the articles, right, some of the you know, the tackle manufacturer people, let's just say, I ain't getting personal, right, so no, you've got to dump your lead every time, right, And they're selling them to people. Of course you got to dump your lead. It's like me being a hot dog salesman, innit? You know, everybody walking by and say, you know, you need a fucking hot dog, mate. Of course you do, because I'm selling them. You know, it's ridiculous. And, you know, I care about the you know, I hope you see this as a passionate rant, but I care about the lake. I care about the lake bed, the environment. You know, the coated leads, apparently the coating only lasts 8 years or something. I mean, I don't know. You know, how can I tell you? You know, it depends on the chemical makeup of the water. You can't just say it's 8 years and that's the end of it. You know, there's other factors to take into account. You know, like with a pH, you know, is it neutral? Is it alkaline? What's the water temperature? You know, all the usual stuff. But what happens then? You know? So, you know, look at it in terms of, you know, the environmental effect and aspect. You know, at what point is somebody going to turn around and say, yeah, we've banned lead shot because birds and wildlife was potentially swallowing it, which is right enough, and so we shouldn't have it. But at what point is people going to say, well, yeah, it's all right, the swan can't swallow the lead because it's too big, but at what point does that have some impact on the water quality and stuff? You know, and I'm just making a valid point here. What I think, you know, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be quiet about these things. Oh, nobody mention it because it'll bring it to somebody's attention. Let's do something now. And please, like I said, you boys, you are my friends. You know what I mean? It's the only way I can put it. But when you read these things about the latest superstar telling you this and that in a magazine, you know, I worked in a magazine in the environment for 10 years, and the stuff that you read is just rubbish. I mean, once when we was at Carp, this is no word of a lie, I said to Jerry Bridger, God bless him, nice lad, Jerry, at Angling Publications now. I mean, in all fairness, they are a great company up at Angling Publications. You know, and they've got the old stalwart Paisley at their helm, so they do things a bit differently. But even they suffer, you know, but not so much as the other mags as such. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, one month, right, I got a tin of Stella and I put a full page of it, yeah? And he went, JB, what you doing? I said, mate, yeah? I said, look at the strap line. All I did was I put a tin of Stella on a page for a review, yeah? And I put something like, I can't remember what it was at the time, but I put something like, still going strong after 300 years. And people, you know, the phone was alive, why have you put that? And I said, because the amount of shit that I get sent, yeah, that I am not, yeah, putting my name to. Even one person, I don't care, I don't think I'm a superstar, just a normal bloke. But if I recommend something, and one person, right, one person buys that because I'm on a bit of a touch, a bit of a backhander, or a little, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's wrong. And I would just, again, implore everybody, right, to start a little bit of free thinking. Start doing what you want to do. You know, years ago, right, true story this, I was fishing in Spain and I was talking to a guy. He actually works at Harvard University now. Lovely fella. Guy called Gary. I won't say who it is just in case like I'd embarrass him or whatever, do you know what I mean? But brilliant man, right? Talking to him, and was down in Spain, right? And you know what it's like, everybody's flown down there. I don't like flying because it frightens me to death, so I drive down. We've got loads of leads, right? I've got some gaffer tape, and I was using a clip system with a 10-ounce gripper, and I was taping the lead on, right? I don't mind admitting this. People say what they want, right? You know, that people can go mental. This is the truth, right? I was taping the lead on. Little bit of a sliver, little sliver of gaffer tape, right? Now I can tell you, right, every time I cast, every time I struck, that was absolutely perfect, right? The minute I got into a violent scrap with a fish, the lead was gone. Yeah, it was doing its job. It was gone. Yeah, when it needed to go. And this guy, getting back to it, right, he's got a master's in, I don't know, whatever, physics or whatever. And he was telling me they did some experiments, right? And he was talking about underwater, like, velocity or something. I don't know, right? The power of a fish swimming, right? And it wasn't actually a carp, it was a sea fish. But he was telling me these things, and I tell you what, the power of them animals underwater, they'd blow your head in. Do you know what I mean? So when people go, oh, you know, you got to lose your leg because if anything happened, it ever got tethered. Look, yeah, I fish responsibly. I'm the most responsible person in the world when it comes to fishing. You know, that is without a shadow of a doubt. But I think all I'm trying to say with all of this, yeah, if the lead ever has to be kind of, you know, dumped, ejected, whatever, in an emergency, make no mistake, right, okay, yeah, there are times when it is a bit of a, you know, things happen and, you know, we hate that, we hate to think that, but that happens in human nature as well, in every walk of life, every animal, whatever, things go wrong. But pretty much on the whole, yeah, everything goes right, you know, and we've got to start thinking to ourselves, we've got to start thinking right in our head, yeah? Dump your lead, yeah, of course, yeah. dump your lead and go and buy a load more. It's ridiculous, right? So that's all I would say on that one. Just start thinking about it, and please always fish responsibly. And what I said about the Spanish thing, I said that was in clear water, in 40 foot, and there was no snags, no nothing in this particular place. But I'm giving you an example. So I don't want people going down to any lakes and doing silly things like that, do you know what I mean? You know, where there might be all snags and different things and whatever. But trust me, right, it isn't always about what you read, yeah? Start a bit of free thinking, right? And start doing a few things that you want to do, right? And don't chastise other people. Oh, you know, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Right, half the people have only got opinions because it's things they've read about other people with opinions, you know? And it's ridiculous, right? It's fishing. As long as you don't harm the fish, that's all we got to do. We don't harm them, right? We're respectful to other anglers. That's all we got to do, you know? It's like John O'Driscoll, right? He got slated once, right, on a forum for his clay system. Best system I've ever seen, yeah? You know, in fact, I'll get him on here. He uses this moulded clay, right, that he gets because he works like for a company where they dig roads up, and he gets all this clay, moulds it, right? And then there's all people like saying, oh yeah, that's right. Well, hang on a minute, right? The clay falls on the lake bed. What damage is that going to do to anything or anybody? But do you know what it don't do? Doesn't sell leads, does it? Yeah? Doesn't sell leads. So how's John's clay system ever going to be popular? How's it ever going to take off? You know, how's the publication worlds, how are they ever going to embrace it when somebody's not funding an article for their adverts because they're selling leads and stuff, yeah? Like I said, make no mistake, right? I work for a company as a consultant that sell leads, yeah? They'll be watching this, but they know what I think about these things and how I feel, yeah? You have to be true to your word. You can't start with somebody and a company, right? And you can't turn tack, and you can't start thinking about different things because you're getting a few quid, yeah? Yeah? Keep hold of your leads, because I do, and I don't pay for them. Right.